If you ever got a message from your future self, what would you do with that message? Would it change anything? Would it change who you are? Claire never thought that she would be the one to get a message from her future self. But when she did, she wasn't exactly sure how to react. Claire was a very practical person. She liked to have everything explained with science and logic. So when she started receiving these cryptic messages from this other Claire, she was more confused than anything. The first message came when Claire was getting ready for bed. She picked up her phone from the nightstand, the one that she always had beside her bed just in case she needed to look up something or check the time. That's what she did just before going to sleep. But this time, there was a new notification. It was a text message from her own number. Claire was confused because she knew that she had sent herself a message, and she certainly was expecting one. She unlocked her phone and read the message. It said, "Don't go to the blue moon tonight." The message was followed by a smiley face emoji. Claire rolled her eyes. Who would send a silly message like this? And why? Was this some kind of joke? She didn't think it was funny, so she just deleted the message and went to sleep. She woke up the next morning feeling refreshed and ready to tackle the day. As she got up, she remembered the strange message that she received the night before. She couldn't help but wonder who would send such a weird message. She decided to put it out of her mind and focus on her day. However, as she went about her day, she kept thinking about the message. She couldn't help but wonder who would send such a weird message. Was it a prank call or was there something more behind it? That evening, Claire found herself at the Blue Moon, a popular nightclub in town. She couldn't help but wonder if she should have listened to the message she received. She shrugged off the thought and decided to enjoy her night. As she entered the club, she saw a familiar face. It was the same guy from the message, the one who had sent her the message. He was standing near the bar with a drink in his hand. He smiled at her and waved. Claire was shocked. She couldn't believe that he was the one who had sent her the message. She was even more confused when he approached her and introduced himself as Mark. He told her that he had sent her the message because he knew something bad was going to happen at the club that night. He didn't want her to go there because he knew that she would get hurt. Claire was skeptical, but she couldn't help but feel a sense of foreboding. She thanked Mark for the warning and decided to stay away from the club. As the night wore on, Claire couldn't shake the feeling that something bad was going to happen. She tried to distract herself by watching TV and eating takeout, but nothing seemed to work. At midnight, her phone lit up again. It was another text message from her own number. This one simply said, "Be careful." Claire was scared. She didn't know what was happening, but she felt like something bad was about to happen. She decided to call the police and tell them about the messages she had been receiving. They took her story seriously and promised to look into it. The next few days were a blur for Claire. She couldn't sleep or eat properly, and she was constantly on edge. She started to feel like she was being watched, and she could unshake the feeling that something bad was going to happen. She decided to take a break from her busy life and go on a vacation. She booked a flight to a remote island and hoped that she could relax there. However, as soon as she arrived at the island, she received another message from her future self. This one simply said, "Don't trust anyone." Claire was scared. She didn't know what was happening, but she felt like she was in danger. She decided to leave the island and return home. When she got back home, she found out that someone had been following her. She was scared and confused, and she didn't know what to do. She called the police again, but they didn't seem to be able to help her. She felt like she was being hunted, and she didn't know why. Will Claire be able to escape her stalker? What is the stalker's motive? Why is Claire receiving messages from her future self? Find out in the next part of this thrilling tale. Stay tuned for more updates, and thanks for watching.